What's up everybody, it's Matt from TDM Style here and welcome back to the channel for another review, and this week we're taking a look at two products from Oliver J. Woods. We've got the Perilla Oil as well as the Abyssinian Clay. I'm surprised I said that right on the first take, Abyssinian. For the longest time I just thought it said Abyssinian, and then I realized that I don't know how to read. So it is in fact Abyssinian. Yeah. Now, before we get started, in case you're wondering what the pink stuff is on my arms, it's kinesiology tape because I'm an old-ass man and I'm dealing with tennis elbow. So yeah, that's what that's for. And obviously I had to get tape to match my hair color because, you know, athletic fashion. All right, so Oliver J. Woods, this is an English brand and they definitely are more on that kind of premium luxury end of products. And as I mentioned, today we're taking a look at two products. So we have the Perilla Oil, which comes in at $33 US if you're getting it from FLEEK Fellows, or 26 pounds if you get it right from the Oliver J. Woods website. And this is an oil that's for your hair, your beard, or your skin. It's meant to be like defrizz, kind of tame your beard, make your skin soft. Yeah, and then we have the Abyssinian Clay, which is advertised as a firm hold matte finish clay. Comes in at $35 US from FLEEK Fellows, or 28 pounds from the Oliver J. Woods website. And it also has hazelnut and Abyssinica seed oils in it for some healthy kind of nutrition to add to your hair. Healthy nutrition. I suppose I could have just said nutrition. All right, so the packaging, these both arrive in these matte black cardboard boxes. On the front, you've got the name of the product, and then on the back, you've got the ingredients as well as like a short description of the product and the directions. So for the Perilla Oil, it just says a rich, versatile Himalayan oil for calming of frizzy hair, taming of feral beards, and enriching of the face and bonds. Bonds? Did I say that right? I don't know. It's a word I've never used before. And for the Abyssinian Clay, it says a matte clay made with hazelnut and Abyssinica seed oils, giving a firm, workable hold for use on either a wet or dry thatch. Thatch. That is a word, again, that I don't think I've used before, but I really like that one, so I'm gonna start using it. Thatch. Then inside the boxes, these do both come in glass bottles / jars. So the Perilla Oil, we've got this 50 milliliter glass bottle. And for the Abyssinian Clay, it comes in this glass jar, which is 50 grams. And I think off the top of my head, that's 2 ounces. It looks like 2 ounces. And I think the lid might be metal even? I'm not sure. But either way, the packaging is great. I mean, this is, when I think of like a sort of luxury premium brand, this is the kind of packaging that I think of. It's, you know, minimal, there's like not much on it, it's just clean. I like the kind of heavy glass jars and bottles. They feel like sturdy enough that if I were to drop them, they wouldn't shatter into a million pieces, so that's always sort of comforting. But yeah, I like the look. They look really great on my shelf, you know, they just look nice. All right, now for my favorite category of scent, and both of these come in the same, it's the Oliver J. Woods, just kind of original scent that they've come up with, and I've got the notes written down here. So it's comprised of bergamot, patchouli, amber, cedar, and sandalwood, which are 5 things that I fucking love separately from one another. So put those together into this OJW scent and fuck me up, dude. It smells so good. Like, the first thing that when I first smelled this, there's like just a slight hint of like, I don't know, just the way that like the herbiness of it and the citrusiness and the spiciness all come together, that it almost makes me think of like a cola bottle candy, but not as sweet. I don't know. That's a really fucking weird description. But essentially, it's a very clean, lightweight, kind of cologne-y, but a little bit earthy, a little bit citrusy, a little spicy. Like, if this came in a fragrance, I would buy it and wear it hands down. It smells so good. So the ingredients list I will have in the description box down below for you. We'll just quickly look at a few things here. So in the oil, we've got things like a Crambe Abyssinica seed oil, Macadamia oil, Perilla oil, of course, sunflower seed oil, which actually helps to kind of protect color. We've also got a bit of limonene in there and some other compounds. Now, the Abyssinica, did I say that right? Abyssinian Clay. Gee, I knew I was gonna do that at some point in this video. I like said it right too many times in a row. Anyway, the clay gets a little bit interesting in the ingredients. So it is water-based. so you can get an idea of how it will wash out. The second ingredient is Cera Alba, which is beeswax. And then we have some compounds. We've got the hazelnut seed oil, we've got the Abyssinica seed oil, and a number of other things, you know, some preservatives and other things. No clay in this ingredients list. And I've made sure, like, I looked up each of these ingredients just to make sure that I wasn't, like, being a big dum-dum and, like, reading something that was, like, a weird sciencey name for some type of clay that it was just going over my head. And it's not. I didn't find any clay in here. We kind of saw that before with, like, Kevin Murphy Rough Rider, although that has diatomaceous earth in it, which I guess you could consider as a clay. But yeah, so this is another, like, clayless clay, if you will. So essentially, I guess that means it's more of a wax? All right, now let's move into application and styling. We'll start with the oil first, because essentially I used the oil as my pre-styler and then the clay as my post-styler. So starting out with freshly washed hair, I'm going in with just a few drops of the oil. You don't need much, a little definitely goes a long way. So I'm gonna work that through with the hands, comb it through to make sure it's all evenly distributed, and then I actually use the leftover oil on my hands, maybe add another drop or two and just use that as a beard oil at the same time. Then we're gonna blow dry that bitch, and as you can see, the final result after that is just nothing short of amazing. My hair feels so soft. It has a really nice natural kind of glowy shine to it. It's lightweight. It doesn't feel oily or greasy at all. With that being said, though, you do want to be careful, because if you do use way too much of this, which I have done, it does just get kind of heavy, and then, you know, it just kind of counteracts the hold of whatever post-styler you're using. So you do want to be careful not to use too much. However, if you use just a few drops, this stuff is amazing. Now, moving over to post-styling with the clay, scooping this out of the jar is so easy. It's very soft and light, and it breaks down like butter. It's just really, like, there's very little, if any, tack in the hands, and working that into the hair, especially after pre-styling with the oil, is buttery smooth. Now, I have noticed if I used either, you know, no pre-styler or something that's just not an oil, the clay did have slightly more of a grippiness or tackiness going into the hair, but still very smooth. Definitely, you know, not tuggy or pulley at all, really. Now, with just one scoop, I really like this. It's just a very soft, kind of lighter holding look. It gives you really great texture. Great for these kind of loose, messy, flowy styles, but for this demo, I did go in with another scoop to see if I could dial it up to a firm hold. So, and as you can see here, at the end of the day, it definitely, you know, deflated a little bit. It started kind of, you know, coming apart. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a firm hold. For me, with 2 scoops, it's definitely more of a medium. However, one thing that I definitely do have to say, the longer that this is in your hair, the softer and nicer it feels. And it doesn't feel like it gets oilier or anything throughout the day, but it just feels like you constantly just have conditioner in that's just getting better and better as time goes by. So you are losing out a little bit on the hold and the volume. They do seem to taper off throughout the day, but I think it's kind of a nice trade-off to then have hair that just feels fucking amazing at the end of the day. Now, as far as the washout, as far as the oil, I mean, you're not really putting that in and washing it out, but I will say that it washes off the hands really easily. And as far as the clay, waxed clay, as I mentioned, it is water-based, and it does come out pretty easily. I don't find it comes totally out with just water. You definitely need a little bit of shampoo, but nothing that a light cleanser won't handle. All right, so overall thoughts, oh god, glass jars, on the Oliver J. Woods Perilla Oil and Abyssinian Clay. Love the oil. This is a great pre-styler for the hair. Love it as a beard oil. The scent on both is just fucking incredible. The clay, I like it. It's not my favorite. For me, it's certainly not a firm hold. I would say it's definitely a medium at strongest, which is fine. I love mediums. And as I mentioned, I like it if you use like 1 scoop for just kind of a lighter flowy style. Love it for that. It does give you nice texture. I really like how it nourishes the hair more and more as the day goes on, washes out easily enough. I find it odd that there's no clay in it. Like this is really just a wax, which is weird because they also sell another product. I forget the exact name, but they sell another styler that is called a wax. So I'm just a little bit confused as to why they decided to call this a clay. I mean, it gives you a clay-like texture, that's for sure. Like in a lot of ways it behaves like a clay, but it's definitely not as dry as a typical clay, and not as strong holding, I guess. But either way, I do think that these are really nice products. I don't mind the more premium price tag because I think that they, do a really good job at conditioning and nourishing your hair and beard and skin even. So yeah, if you have some bucks and you want to try something, a little on the more premium side, definitely check them out. The scent alone is worth it, honestly. The scent is just bomb. So that wraps things up for today's review, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. I have a lot more stuff coming up as usual. I have all 3 products from firsthand supply. Really excited to get into reviewing those. I have a ton of hair bond stuff. I have the newer matte product from Concept Hair Creations. I got Morris Motley stuff. I just have too many products. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all that upcoming stuff. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching. And we'll see you at the next one.